Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camppatton Family Compound. It's time for the Monday Night Fireside Chat, and tonight's topic, 6 years looking back. Let's go, Mr. Peabody. Right away, Sherman. And how's everybody doing out there? Yes, I am here in California doing the live streams from here as I get a lot of work done here. But first, let's go over here and let's see who else here. Make sure I said hello to everybody. Got more people coming in. So first one in was Shady Hill Homestead, followed by Crumbie the Beagle, then Mother Earth Garden Club, followed by Rebel Canners, and that's Tammy McNeil is out there in Ohio, getting ready for the Food Summit tomorrow. And let's see here. Got Tammy Harder here, Wayne Hunter, Diana Two's in the house, Angels Homestead, Sue Me, Jay is here, Moon over Miami. All right. Okay, so tonight is the 6th year anniversary of having set up Camppatton Family Compound YouTube channel. And Galen Strain just came in. And so tonight's get rid of that there we go. Tonight we're hopping in the Wayback Machine and we're going to look at some of the cinema masterpieces from over 5 years ago. Yes, I set the channel up 6 years ago today, but I didn't start posting. Some of the stuff I posted on there got deleted right away once I started learning how to do better stuff. So some of the very first ones are gone. Sorry. They were just, really bad, but even some of the ones that stayed up there are kind of bad. So feel free to laugh. And, but I do have some stuff that goes back to, day one and stuff. And I will be sharing some of that with you. But let's go over here. Actually, I need to change some things over here. So hang on once. I forgot to do something here. That's too large. And that's going to make it a pain. All right, hang on here. That ain't going to work the way I want to do it. So I'm going to go back here and do it one at a time. I was going to try to set them all up to full screen so I get to roll through some of them, but it's not going to work that way. So video number 1 on Camppatton Family Compound. If you happen to go all the way back to the videos, it's number 1. And some of these don't have any sound on them all because when I was first doing the camera, I didn't realize that I had one of these little cheap $99 video cameras, and I didn't realize that it had, where I was holding on to it, the microphone was on top. And so holding it steady and everything to do it, there was no sound coming through. So let's hop over here. And I'll put myself down to the bottom one, and let me go ahead and get, and let's see if I can get this here to go. So this is a quick view from this front street of the property when we bought it 6 years ago. And I got the one cargo container moved in. So this is actually about 5.5 years ago. But nothing much has changed other than the fact that I'd already done so. So originally, the truck was not a parking space. And I widened it up with the Coyote tractor we'd bought and tore out about, I would say about 10 feet of lilac here on the left, because it used to go all the way over to about the middle of the open garage door there. You barely had one lane going through, one car width going through into it. So back over here. And I got the wheel of death going. Yeah. And that's looking at the rest of the property out there towards the neighbors over there. And high quality $99 camera. If that, maybe only a $59 camera. And we're jumping that. So let's skip that there and go on to the next one here. Wait for it to load. There we go. And so this is it's the 1939 tractor I got when I bought the property, and there's the coyote there. And the all these trees were not taken care of. They were rotting and falling apart, and a lot of blight. A quick walk around the property. This is video number 3, and take that full size. And I was just learning how to do this type of videoing. I'm breaking up. Yeah, we've got bad internet on this side right now. When we cut out the AT&T cable, my son says that the internet has been acting up since. They've been like AT&T screwing us for giving up the landline and giving up the cable TV. Yeah, it's doing that. And walking around there, tore out a bunch of briar rose that was across this area here, and put it underground. Yeah, I see the wheel. This is video number 3. So if you see it, the title up there, number 3, a quick walk around the property. You can go back and look. This one is 7 minutes here, and so there was a lot of work to be done on this property. Even more work to be done on the house. Yeah, it's not liking the setup here. I was walking across the street to the property I would buy later on, where the pig silo is there and stuff. But yeah, so I buried the irrigation, and Grant the field out here was trying to direct the water where he wanted to. He had like 11 irrigation ditches, trying to get as much water as he could to water that. Let's go. That's the irrigation dish. There's some water flowing through it right now, so it's underground here. and it's flowing all night again. So, but when we first got it, but it's looking better now. I just wish I had got a camera to record this stuff. I wish we had better internet here. But it is really acting up here bad. Probably because I got 12 windows open to share videos for this. It's the back of the old house, and got this this metal shed underneath the covering. There was a garden shed that had been insulated. They had his dogs in, and we moved that. It's now my daughter's chicken coop. All right. This one's getting of you. Everything was frozen. I said as long as you want to go look at that one, and yeah, there's no. The sound was also, my finger was over the microphone, so there's nothing on it, unfortunately. Let's look at the next one here. So this is, we were trimming back the lilac in front because it had not been trimmed, I found out, for like 15 years. And so we're trying to prune up the lilac and get it, it was just overgrown in there, and it was killing itself, and we left going. There's the staff sergeant there pruning, and I'm hauling the stuff off. And so, yeah, there's we'll be cutting. We're going to cut the top off later. And go ahead and close that one. I'm just going to show you a couple more of these here. So this is after it was all cleaned out. I can get it to. So we got it all cleaned up. All the dead stuff pulled out of this first portion here. We have since, every year we work on a little bit more. By the time we got to go back and start over again, pulling out dead stuff. And so you finally got to the point where it's actually starting to come back pretty good from the new root stock and stuff where it spreads off. But got a lot of branches there and stuff still to rake up. But there's a I mean, it was and we haven't even started on the lilac over there yet, but we've been finding all these nice, lovely cobbles over, and we've been piling them out front here. Let's see if it gets up. This was about a nasty weed on the property. And we're gonna. And we just about eradicated until last year and started making a comeback. But there's an area out here by the old orchard that's just full of sandburrs there, but yeah, sandburrs are, almost as bad as goat heads. They stick to anything and get tracked in the house. Unfortunately, it all out, and sprayed it out, and got rid of it. Yeah, this lawn here was just full of it. Fortunately, none of more of it has come up in this lawn. What was a lawn area here in the orchard, but that area has since been turned into a garden by my daughter. It is a barely audible narrative going on in this video here, but I'm not sharing it. There's a small torch. All right. Got the a video here going on about putting the neighbor boy, the son of the mayor, to work. And all the stuff he did, he came through with a double bottom plow and plowed this area and then disked it and knocked down a bunch of the stuff that was back here, berms and stuff for the irrigation. Got it all where I can go in and rototill it later. So there's 2 minutes there. We've been putting out markings of where to put stuff out there for an orchard. So, and out there they're talking about going out and doing the next field out in a couple weeks when I got back. But in the meantime, he got all this one here done really good. All right, this is finally to get rid of all the berms in the big field. I had to go and rent something, and so this is a operator's view from a D5 dozer. If it'll run right here. Yeah, sorry about the circle of death showing. I spent a couple of days pushing dirt and leveling out the big field so I could work it. All right. Yeah. Unfortunately, this one is giving, with this internet acting up the way it is. I don't know, maybe my son woke up and he's on the internet too, and maybe my wife's doing something on the internet, so using up all our internet bandwidth. Uh, yeah, but you can't see when I show the controls there. It's showing me the pitch and the angle of the blade in there. It's showing me, the tilt on my grade, for going forward, whether I'm digging too deep, going forward, going downhill, going uphill, tilting to the right, tilting to the left, shows what how the tractor's sitting. So it's newfangled stuff. I learned out about any of that stuff just by eyeballing it and having a grade checker. At this point in time, I just said I was doing 11 hours of time out there, so I'm on the second day. And even right now, where I push the dirt out, even there's points out to even drive around out there without breaking your axle on a pickup. Whereas before, you bounce like you're, driving the Baja 5000 or whatever. Go ahead and that's what it is. And when it runs fine, when the internet's running on it, it's going fine. It goes really good. Go and get rid of that and go to the next one here. And so on this one here, I pushed some dirt up into here, and then and yep, there's a train going by in the background there. I pushed a lot of dirt with the dozer up into this area and leveled it out and track walked it in. And then I took a ripper I have for the coyote out here and just drove around and tore up the that area again, so it could be just under and be able to turn stuff in. So that's all this one is. It just goes on about this. I just wish you quit freezing here. Yeah. There's the neighbor's tractor that goes into disc out there in that area. And then he's going to be disking in this area here after the next day. Because right now, just compacting it and, with the dozer, and then ripping it up with the coyote, and we can get stuff planted there. Ad for house buyers. All right, this is just a photo slideshow because the first we bought the place in 2016. I didn't go up there until 2018, and so I didn't start recording videos until 2019. And so all I was doing was taking pictures and emailing them back to the staff sergeant. This one I do have. I know you're not hearing it on your side, but I do have some music playing on, and that's the whole prop 5 acres there. And this next to the driveway here was a huge thing of the lilac just loaded with briar rose growing in the lilac, next to the lilac, causing all sorts of problems. You couldn't use the property out there hardly at all. So this was one of the springs when I went up there, I guess 2017, went up there and started taking stuff, taking out all the briar rose, which is a wild rag rose, and getting rid of it. Of course, up there you have to burn the irrigation ditches every spring before they turn on the water. They want all the weeds out. So we burnt the irrigation ditch, burnt the briar rose alongside the fence line. Yeah, try doing that in California. You'll have the San Francisco Bay Area Nazi Association saying, "Oh, you're burning!" Yeah, one of the irrigation ditches there. I mean, gates out of the ditch. Trying to burn all the weeds and stuff and get rid of all the stuff so we get irrigation ditch. As you can see, that ditch hadn't been cleared. And one photo there hadn't been cleared in years. And when I got done, everything was burnt clean, raked out, and able to use it. some huge briar roses here. I had to go through and burn it, and all the dead stuff on the bottom, which killed the green stuff. They come back and burn some more, and then it burned a bunch more. Here's some photos of when the D5 arrived. I got the transit and stuff set up out there so I could level it. These are all the pictures I sent back to what. And you can't really see it here, but all those little stripes going left to right out there are berms out there that are about 12 inches tall that you can't drive over, and just a pain. And you can see where I tried tearing it out with the Coyote at first there, but now I'm going to get the D5 and smooth the whole thing out, pushing up the berm dirt up to the top here for where the irrigation line is going to be buried at later. So this is all 2017. There it is, getting a little bit better, getting it smoothed out and leveled out. So there's pipe going in. There's where the irrigation is concerned. They will be digging trench down, piping down there. Some of the low spots I had to drag stuff back to. And of course, the garage had a crappy breaker on the left there. The water was coming down through the roof into the breaker, so I put a new one in with actual proper breakers on it. And more in the first 6 months here. I was just putting pictures together. So yeah, my daughter and her husband, 2 boys, moved in as soon as escrow closed in November of 2016. Got my mother-in-law standing, and the staff side, you can see her head. She's in the shadow there. This is the living room. We bought the place planning on tearing this house down and starting over and just building up because it was so bad. Going down the basement, I can't walk standing up straight down there. I also have to walk hunched over all the time. And the driveway, hang on, let me go back on that. Okay. So the driveway here is barely 1 car length wide, just a little bit more. There was no rock in the driveway. It was a mud driveway and a mud hole down, I think, because everything drained down towards the street, and then drained from the street back into the right of way, and that turned into a mud hole there. So I saw one of those pictures. It was nice and wide and opened up. Hey, Glenn, how's it going? And you can see got some snow coming, snowfall there. So this was the not sure. Oh, I got bees up there. So this was right at, and there's the staff sergeant clearing stuff out there. Has an unfinished attic up there. An old TV that they just left up there, didn't take it out with it. And a bunch of other crap that was just left up in there. Pin and tube wiring for it, and yeah, it was the guy was ultra penny pinching cheap and doing stuff, and he tied modern Romex into the pin and tube, and it was just butt ugly. So yeah, that part of the house was built in 1903. Idaho Supreme mashed potato factory over there. So These are all the pictures that were, put together because we weren't doing video at the time yet. So just made a slideshow and turned it into a video for you guys. This was an old horse watering trough guy put in. This piece of concrete was huge, probably about 5 yards of concrete he used to build it. So this is the April trip up there. And showing the bad wiring there before I had to go up and replace the wiring on it. And discovering the problems underneath the house. So we knocked out some cinder blocks and found out that, a lot of the house is just supported by 2x4 sitting on top of rocks. And the electrical down in the basement was just horrendous, as was the water. I got all that fixed down there in the basement now. I'm going to go back on that last one there. So in the back there, the floor joist, the piles of dirt were touching the floor joist. And so before I started taking pictures, as soon as I opened up the cinder block area there, I started dragging the dirt away from the floor joist. Utterly stupid on the guy's part for the way he did it. Now hang on, back it up a half a second there. This was a coal bunker there in the back, and it only had a 3-foot tall opening there with slats. So you take slats out to get more coal out. And so that room was basically unusable. So I took it out and I fixed the door in there. And so now you can get in there and use it. And right here on the right is an old chest refrigerator and freezer. That's one of the storage shelves they had down there. And behind wall number 3 was a big opening there and nothing supporting the basalt rock foundation. And so here's the trip in May going up. So showing the lilac, overgrown lilac, and along that had not been pruned since 2025 maybe. And so I put in a circuit breaker down the bottom and pulled out all the crappy wiring they had down there. Started fixing stuff up. And the cinder block there was so bad that it was being eaten away. So the first videos I have some of them weren't even videos; they were just slideshows. Hey, Lewis, how's it going? And eventually, we tried saving all those apple trees. The last one died last fall, and my son-in-law and daughter took it down. But so I got a travel trailer to stay in when I was up there till we bought the other house. And this is one of my first videos. The sound in this one actually works fairly good. I got muted there. This is some of the. We picked up a dehydrator. It had a heater in it, but no fan. So we used the laptop fan to blow the air through it to dehydrate apricots. And so that worked pretty good. That's the hydrating apricots. And then probably this one, I got like 100, almost 200 views on this one here. This was the garden. And so I'm just showing what's going on in that. And yeah, so that's one of the trips I was going down to load stuff up. Southern Bliss Homestead. Welcome, welcome. And so, yeah. So I'm pulling a bunch of cabinets from my shop out and taking them up. Yeah. She got rid of the lawn years before this and put in a garden. Got rose bushes along the driveway and all sorts of. I got, you can see the sunflowers over here. We got a shiitake tree in there. At this point, I said the roses were out there for about 20 years, but you look at, she has a lot of stuff there. She's done some better videos herself on going through it in there, but yeah. You got a lot of flowers, got tomatoes in pots, putting in, yeah. And that was a redwood planter that our youngest son built for her for Mother's Day. Right. This is a native plant for California. It'll take over your yard if you don't have it contained, and it's got a cement wall in the back and cement driveway on the front, so it kind of contains it. Camellias up there, a bunch of the plants. So let me go ahead and just stop this here. So that's what I was doing the first couple of years. Actually, a lot of it was just photos and stuff turned into slideshows. Then in 2019, in June, I created Camppatton Family Compound on there, and actually didn't start posting very many videos till probably about August or so, and I started posting some of these, and then started doing live streams thanks to Will Russell of Just in Time Prepping, and he got me up on his live streams with Palmetto Prepared and Manifestations of Imaginations Read, and taught me how to use StreamYard. So he liked the hat. This is actually got this at the Scout Shop. This is a Scoutmaster's hat. Whoa, severe thunderstorm warning. All right, so yeah, there are now. So I showed that one with the first time we did dehydrating. You can pull this one up over here. So come on, stop. There it goes. And so a couple, was it? 2 years later. This, and there I am wearing the same hat, and I've come up and started improving stuff. I actually have good sound on these when I do it. We're showing our apricot tree, which, yeah, and at this point it's about 9 years old. But we got so many apricots on that thing. We and so one of the things we wound up doing, moving around the house here. This is the California house. That was my mom's dehydrator from years and years before this. So dehydrating apricots. So a little bit better quality video. So there we go back here. So yeah, in 2 years the videos improved a whole bunch. So ad for Royal Kingdom again. Yeah, I've been seeing that ad for Royal Kingdom on just about every video I watch. And I keep saying, I don't like it. I don't like it. Block this one and throw up a different Royal Kingdom one. But anyways, yeah, so we got stuff going on there, cleaning stuff up. there with the apricot tree. This year I didn't have. We were so busy doing it, I didn't get a chance to record it. My wife. We had trays of apricots all over the kitchen, all over the dining room table up there, and she was cutting up and everything, them up, and made six jars of jam, and so we got a lot of apricot jam for the grandkids, and she's keeping one here for herself. Our two boys that are still living here probably aren't going to be big. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're not fans of apricot jam. They'd rather just eat them if they ever eat them. So I just had a thing pop up on that one over there. So so for 6 years, I think I've come a long ways in quality of videos and topics and stuff. Audio's improved a lot better as long as the internet is working. And so hopefully you can look forward to more videos and stuff. And if you have any type of videos you want to see me do here on what we're doing, either here in California or in Idaho, let me know. However, what I've been using for my video camera lately, when I got better audio and stuff, is just basically a Motorola phone. Problem was, the other day, it decided to jump out of my pocket. It still works. The lenses on the back here are still good, but the front end's all kind of screwed up. But I just got a special film to put over it so I don't get kept dragging my fingers across it. And I may wind up having to order another one, but we'll see how it works with the new, with the quote screen protector, which is going to hold it together, actually protect my finger. Oh, guys are getting hail there, huh? Oh, you guys are getting some bad weather out there. Well, speaking of which, all right. So here, just as the countdown timer was going on, I refreshed the weather here. It was 73 degrees during the countdown video here in California, and let me go ahead and get rid of that. In there it is. Up in Idaho, it's 81 degrees during the countdown timer. So it's 81 up there, and that's at after 6 o'clock in the evening up there. The high on Thursday up there is supposed to be 90 degrees, and everything else is in the upper 80s up there. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Kaylin says, got an email saying her internet provider just finished systems upgrade that is supposed to jack up her speed. If they said jack up your speed, that can mean two ways. One, it's going to increase it, or one, they're going to jack it up and screw it around and mess up your speed. 86 in Des Moines, got it to 89. So I have a feeling this is going to be a hot winter here. Yeah, right. Still 89. Okay, yeah. All right. All right. So Tammy Harder did not get any hail, but to the west of her, they had rain like no other, closed the road down due to flooding. Ugh. Weird weather, folks. All right, here. So I'm going to wrap this up here now, but first I want to run some stuff here to you. All right, so tomorrow on Gray Man Prepping is Major Mistakes That Preppers Make, Part 2. I got shoot, how many I got out there? 18 or something, or more than that. Hang on here. So I got 21 mistakes that preppers make. Thursday night is the midnight ride. Friday, back here on Camppatton Family Compound. It's the first day of summer, and we're going to be talking about summer weather and events and stuff you can do to keep your sanity in the hot summer. On Survival Saturday for Gray Man Prepping for the Exploring the Event series. After the New Madrid super volcano erupts, what are your plans? So other channels have been talking about this for a while. Some of them I've been laughing at. Others are have been addressing them in a fairly serious tone. That's what we're going to try to do on Saturday. Next Monday, Tammy and Mark will be back from the food summit in Ohio, and they will be talking about ways to protect canning jars. All right, so that's what's coming up for the next week here. And everyone, stay happy, stay safe, keep your head down, watch out for the lightning and hail, and I'll see you tomorrow night on Gray Man Prepping. Take care, everyone.